Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Cija Ebeling, and tonight I have an amazing guest with me. This is Holly, and she is one of my former clients that has done a past life regression with me. We did a video, a live video last week that she couldn't join me on, so now we're getting together and we're having a conversation about her session with me. And we're going to play that here in just a moment. Holly is actually in North Carolina, right?
North Carolina.
And we did a Zoom session. And so we're going to play the audio from that session so you guys can hear the session. Even if you listen to my last YouTube video, we're going to play it again so Holly can comment on certain parts of the session where maybe she wasn't talking, and she's going to explain why that happened. And I'll let her elaborate. But right now we're going to play the audio, and here we go. Trust your first impression. What do you experience? Where do you go? Can you hear that, Holly?
I can.
Okay. Take a look at your surroundings. Is there any land that you can see nearby? Just where do you see?
I think at this point I was trying to figure out where
you were?
Yeah.
Before it, I actually paused the audio. So tell people what you were feeling in this moment that as the life was coming into you. How was that? How were you experiencing that?
So it played out like a Viewmaster. So I would get a little blip, had a lot of feelings. And then this was in the beginning. And then I could actually start to see stuff. I was trying to figure out where I was. You kept asking me, what boat are you on? Well, I didn't know. I didn't know because no, I did not know because I was focusing on my job, and that was dealing with part numbers. And the part numbers, I've never been around boats, so I don't know, but I just know that
Maybe you have, you just don't remember. No.
Right. I have, but no, not in this life. I was looking at the numbers, trying to figure out where I am, and it was saying like 0174. And that's what I was looking at. So I didn't really know.
Okay.
At that point, I was trying to really figure out what
it was.
Yeah.
Right, let's listen to some more, and we can
elaborate.
Pause it whenever you're ready to say something about it.
Okay.
On this boat with you? There's a lot of people. Okay. Just take a look at yourself. Look down at your feet and see what you see. You feel masculine or feminine? Dirty. Dirty. Okay. How do you feel in this memory? First impression. 25? 12. Okay, good. So there are lots of people there and you're there feeling dirty. Do you get a sense of where you're going? At work. Okay. And what are you doing there for work? You're laughing. I'm pausing it for a moment.
I guess it was something else when when I after it was over with, and then I'm listening to it, and I'm a man, I'm dirty, I'm on a boat. It was just like, that is not, what.
That's what you expected?
No. No, everybody wants to be a princess, right?
Or royalty?
Royalty. Not me.
Well, we did ask for the most significant lifetime to come forward, and this was what the higher self brought us to explore. So continue playing unless you have something else
Okay,
you want to
go
say.
ahead. No.
Ask yourself, does this ship have a name? I'm going to pause it because there was a lot of emotion coming in when I asked this question to you.
Yeah.
That's
So at that point, there was a lot of emotion because there was a knowledge in that area where I was working that the parts number don't match. So something was wrong. And the more we tried to discuss it, it was just shut down and not acknowledged.
mm,
So that was the frustration that was coming in for me at that point.
knowing something was going on, but you couldn't.
I knew something was wrong. I had a lot of aggravation. I had a lot of hostility at that point because it didn't make any sense.
Yeah. All right. Keep on going here with the audio. The only one that works in that room. What do you call you? What name do you have? First impression. Patrick. Good job. Patrick, do you get a sense of having a family at that age? You're not with me. Not with you? They're not with me. Okay. But you do have a family? I have a family. Describe your family to me. Do you have any children? I don't have any children. Okay. Describe your family to me. I have a mother. Okay. Any siblings? Don't feel attached. Don't feel attached. Okay. I had asked earlier if that ship had a name, and you said it does. What is the name of that ship? we'll close out the scene of boiler room. Let's leave work, leave the ship, and go back to your childhood in that lifetime. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to your childhood. That's a significant memory. Where are you now?
Ireland.
Ireland. Feeling detached from your family earlier, is close to them now? Or what is it? More of your story.
When my father felt like he's gone. When my mother is sad.
Is it a recent passing of your father, maybe? Or something else going on?
He passed.
Do you have siblings?
Two.
Not that.
I have a sister.
Any others?
A brother.
What is your sister's name? What do you call her? Cat. What about your brother? First impression.
I saw his eyes. And I knew who he was.
Just Jim.
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 Good job. So, Holly, you just mentioned that when you were trying to visualize your brother, you said you recognized him. And I know at the end of the session, we pulled it up. I'm not sure if we'll get that part in the recording on this particular chat communication
Right.
we're doing right now. But what is it that you recognized in your brother?
I recognize his eyes. And his eyes are that of my husband right now.
Husband now.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Right. Sometimes that happens, we recognize we share lifetimes with our soul group, and each time we come in, we play specific roles in order to help each other grow. And so in this particular life that we're visiting now, her husband was actually her brother named Jim. So we'll keep playing the audio and see if anything else sparks anything else you want to say.
Okay.
Besides Cat and Jim.
No.
Right. Good job. Patrick, do you get a sense of having a last name? First impression?
They call me Patty.
Last name come up for you?
Tell
sister and brother. Describe your surroundings. You said you were in Ireland. What kind of house do you live in? Would you describe that to me? Yourself there.
Somewhere that I've always wanted to go.
To Ireland.
Yeah.
There's a reason why the soul is drawn to specific areas. It's because you've been there before.
Mm-hmm.
It's like home.
It does.
So, in a problem, there's a market. It's a market. And I like to go to the market.
What's your favorite thing at the market? What do you like to look at?
Candy.
Just observe all of it. See what you're drawn to the most. What is your favorite candy there? We're giggling because we know what's coming next. Because it's nothing I've ever heard of. So I'm like, huh?
Or house.
Or out?
Or house.
At this point, I wrote the notes down of what you were talking about, and I never heard of this candy before, and
Yeah.
apparently it was a thing, and it was your favorite in that lifetime. But tell people now how you
Not now. No.
maybe you ate too much of it.
My grandfather loved it. And I tried a piece and it's disgusting.
Maybe you didn't.
It's kind of like a combination between licorice and root beer, and that's not something I would pick. No,
Well, apparently you liked it in this life, so
I did.
okay. I'm gonna keep playing the audio and
Okay.
see what's next. And when you go to the market, do you typically go with your family or are you there by yourself right now? Emotions like, are you happy to be there or sad to be there? Tell me what it feels like to be there.
I'm happy.
Good. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Let's go ahead now and fast forward a bit and discover what it was that sparked your interest in becoming someone that works on a ship. Let's go to that memory in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whenever you have it on, what grabs your interest?
Work was hard to find. And it was good wages.
That's something that is really odd because that is something that I would never say is wages.
What would you call it now if you were talking about money?
I wouldn't say the wages.
Wages?
No. You know, I listened to that and I had to listen to it a couple of times and I thought, there's not something, and the way that it was said sort of shocked me a little bit when I went back to re-listen.
Mhm.
You know, the wages were good. Like that sounded, it was odd to me. I would have said something different. the pay was well or it paid really good,
Mhm.
but wages, no, we never said that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when I went back to listen, there were a lot of words that
You wouldn't typically use, huh?
no, no, which is strange.
All right. We'll keep on listening here.
Have to take care of them. After your father passed, you were responsible for caring for your family and my brother. So how old were you then when you first started working in the shipyard? What do you do? Was this something that you enjoyed doing? No. So let's then go ahead and close out that scene at the first portion of your journey working in the shipyard. Let's go back to the last day in that life. Let's see what happens. And I want you to, before we go there, that you are completely safe. And you can observe this from outside of yourself. You don't have to feel the emotions if you don't want to. So let's go ahead and arrive at the last day of that life. In 5, 4, 3, and 1. Last day. What's going on? I'm in America. So you survived the ship.
Was that shocking?
Yes, when you initially said that, I was so overjoyed because you made it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I expected to hear, oh, I'm going down with the ship, but you are one of the survivors of the Titanic. And so I was just so excited to know that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was taken aback though. I don't know if you,
It's really strange because now that I've done done the research, not very many of the crew members survived. So that was really something.
yeah. Keep listening here.
Okay.
What's going on in America? This is your last day. How do you feel? How old are you? 74. That's a really good age. Did you discover where you're at last day? In a place, or are you outside? I am at home. At home. Okay, good. We're not at home. Is there anyone else there with you? No. Okay. You get a sense of ever having a family in that lifetime. I did. Not that. I have.
Did you want to say something, Holly? Okay, I'll keep playing it then.
nice or you weren't nice?
I was not nice.
With that.
Drink too much.
It's not staying. I'm still married.
She's gone.
What happened to your wife?
She's gone.
She passed before you.
She did.
Were there any children?
Yes.
Not them.
She's gone.
Still talking about your wife or?
My daughter is gone. She died.
What happened there? Your family.
My wife died, and I had a child that could not take care of her. I just let her go.
Any of the children besides your daughter?
No.
Bring yourself back to being at home. This is your last day. Sense of having any illness or what's going on with the body?
I think I just drank too much.
You know, when you're ready,
Tired.
you're tired, ready to go. You already left the body. Where do you go next?
Okay, pause it here because I want you to tell people it got very emotional. And I know the pausing was going on, but I know you were experiencing so much more than what was coming
Yes.
out initially. Can you tell people about that?
So at that moment, I realized that he was everything that I hated in this life.
Do you drink in this life?
No,
You learned your lesson.
no, no, I was married to an alcoholic, and it was very bad, and me and my children left. So everything that he was, I hated.
I feel like a karmic circle that was going on and playing out.
Oh, huge, huge. And that's what I knew right then, is that sometimes in this life we look at someone and we're like, oh, I hate that.
Now you know why.
I do. Oh, I do. And it really brought a realization because no, I don't drink, and I hate that, but I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad person, you know what I mean? And we have to look at people through different eyes.
That's right.
And
Sometimes,
that's what I learned through that moment.
mhm, a different perspective this time around.
Yes. And it brought me to forgiveness.
Aw.
Hmm.
So tell me now, it's been a few weeks since our session together. What has changed for you? How do you feel now?
Um, it felt like a weight was lifted, like I was carrying around a lot of burden, a lot of negative feelings,
Mm-hmm.
um, holding on to things that had happened to me in this life. And when I realized that I had been that person at one point, it really made me look at the world differently, it made me look at everything differently. And now I feel at peace. And that's where I needed, that's where I needed to be. A lot of people which moving forward into the next life that we're going to see here in a minute, I have had a really strong attachment to my kids in this life. Um, I have 4, and I want to be near them all the time. Like, I don't want to be away from them. I love them. We have a great relationship, but a lot of people think it's weird because we are a tribe. We really are a tribe. And now I know why.
You want to play on into the next
Yeah,
slide?
you can. Yes.
All right, here we go.
What happens next? Experiencing now that the soul has left the body of Patrick. Experiencing that.
So while I'm doing regressions, I actually sometimes will look at the client in the chair or on the call, and their body language tells me that there's something going on and is just not able to speak about it. And so this is why I'm asking you what's going on, because I could see so much emotion coming in and I want to try to tap into that. So here we go.
What's going on?
I jump every time I hear the call.
Me too.
I'm sure what you're saying.
That was heavy.
It's heavy. How are you feeling now? Are you in your body or are you somewhere else?
I am.
Did you want to say something, Holly?
I just take my time.
Because you're experiencing it, even though
I
it's
am.
coming
I
out of your
am.
mouth.
I am. And now that I'm listening to it, I'm like, why couldn't you just say something? But I know what I was experiencing at the moment.
Yeah. So even though you weren't talking, how does it come into you? How are you seeing this information?
Well, that one came in as what I call them like little blips because it's like a Viewmaster.
Mhm.
And you know, when you would click to change the scene on the Viewmaster, that's kind of what I was experiencing, but I could feel all the emotions like I'm a feeler or something. Like I can feel it.
Yeah.
And sometimes the feelings just are during this are extremely overwhelming,
Mhm.
especially this lifetime.
Let's keep listening here and see what happens.
Are you indoors or outdoors?
Outside.
Okay. What are you doing outside?
He came to tell me what I was calling.
Like, who's gone?
My husband.
Okay. How old are you right now?
18.
Very young. What happened? What happened to your husband?
He left. He's in the military.
Okay. Get a sense of where he was going.
He was fighting for his man.
You know what he was fighting? What kind of war it was? Yes, of the era. What battle was that? First impression.
I'm still probably going to jump every time.
I know.
So the coughing that you're hearing is actually Holly's daughter in the background participating in this as well. And she was the one coughing.
I'm surprised I didn't go.
You
didn't
just kept
even-
on rolling and
I didn't really hear it.
tuned it out. Good, because you were in the moment.
Apparently I was focused.
And you know, there are quite a few long pauses in here, and it's important for people to this because everybody thinks, oh, I got to jump from this life and this life and this life, and that's not the way it happens. And I'm very patient with people as they're experiencing it, because I know there's more information going on than what's coming out. So I allow them to experience that. So let's keep rolling here after the cough.
And the pause.
It's the end of the war.
Do you know which war it was?
I see his eyes.
We are the Confederate States.
That's what your name is.
Julia.
Julia have a last name. Impression.
Jackson.
Take a look at your home and where you live. What level of wealth or lack of wealth are you experiencing in this life?
Was passed out of my family.
Okay. Let's see what happens next in that life. Let's go ahead and close out that scene. After being told that your husband is gone, let's move forward a bit to another significant event in that life. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, new event in the same life. Where's Julia now?
Kids.
You have kids?
Yes.
How old are you now?
25.
You met someone new. Are these children from the husband that is gone?
No, they're from my husband now.
Okay. Tell me about him. What do you call him?
Um, Yes.
How did you meet? Story. How did you meet your husband?
Before I let this play out, sometimes as a past life regressionist, I'll see a lifetime or the answer coming in before it comes out of the client's mouth. And then this is such a case. And when Holly actually describes how they met, I'm like, I knew it. I knew it. I don't say anything though, because I want them to experience it.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen that way every single session I do, but a lot of them it does. And I just let them experience it. So let's listen to what happens.
Only my husband.
Leave it to me. Thank you for validating that. So now that you've moved forward, you have a new husband and children, how is your marriage? How do you feel?
Life changed.
About that.
I can adjust. And change is hard.
What kind of changes are you experiencing?
Being,
Tell me more about that.
we have a farm and it's big and it's a lot of work. Tired. Kids are little. I have to work.
Work and care for your children.
Most of us
See if we can move forward a bit, see what happens with that. Let's go ahead and close out that scene and move forward to another significant event in lifetimes, Julia.
You okay? You want to say something?
Yeah. No, just
No?
let that one go because this is where it's going to get.
Okay.
5, 4, 2, and 1. Be there now.
I'm sick.
Where do you feel your illness at? Sense of what kind of illness this is.
I had sharp pains in my abdomen.
What happens with this illness? Where are sharp pains from?
Appendix.
What happens with that? Keep moving forward, describing the experience.
My appendix was ruptured. It's too early because I don't want to leave my children again. I don't want to leave them. I have to leave them.
Was that your last day?
Yes.
Just send them love from the other side. Take your last breath in that light. Knowing that you still exist in your children's lives. Just see your physical body. Take some deep breaths in and out, knowing that you're safe. Knowing that you did your best. Children while you were there. And while we're in this state, I want you to think back into the lives that you experienced this evening and recognize any of those souls of anyone that you know in your current life situations. If you recognize anyone,
I do.
tell me about it.
My brother. My brother. It's my husband now. So nice.
Anyone else that you recognize?
It's ever there to me. Please take care of me. See, see it.
I'm going to pause this here because it probably, I don't know how long it draws out all the faces and the souls that you recognize. Why don't you tell people about who these are to you? Make the connection for them.
Okay. In Patrick's life, his brother is my husband now. In Julia's life, my husband now was my husband then. Maggie is my youngest daughter. Isaiah is my grandson. That's Mariah, my daughter's oldest son. That I could see that's whole scene playing out.
Mhm.
And that's why it was so hurtful, because I could see the bed and I saw 4 children. And then I saw my husband now. He was at the foot of the bed. And I didn't want to go because I was so happy in that life with them.
So the brother that you took care of as Patrick, that's your husband now, is
Yes.
playing an opposite role. He's the
Yes.
caretaker now.
Yes.
And so, and the children that you've had to leave behind are in your life again, and this playing different roles.
Playing
And
different roles.
but they're still, we're in the soul group. We come in to help each other grow by playing different roles.
Absolutely. I know that now, and it brought me so much peace.
Good. Good.
You know, before this, you think, both of my parents are getting older, so it's hard to think about a time without them.
Mm-hmm.
And I still don't like to think about it, but it gives me it gives me ease to know that we follow each other. We just keep vibing together. Apparently.
So tell me, on the day that when you had your appendix burst, did you feel any pain while you were in the bed at all? Was there any pain associated with that death?
A little bit.
Was it a physical pain that you were feeling?
When
Or heartache?
under hypnosis?
Yes.
Both.
Okay.
Both. I knew exactly what was happening.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like excruciating. I just knew.
Yeah. Just kind of discomfort.
It's very hard to explain.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could feel discomfort. You're not going to feel, I didn't feel like, I was about to roll out, but
Yeah.
I felt where the location.
So after having these experiences, how do you feel about death now? You?
I'm not afraid because I know we're all going to be together.
Right?
We're just going to keep on trucking, keep on being together.
Yes. And sometimes because we choose our soul what role we're gonna play in everybody's lives, people ask me all the time, why would I choose a family that abuses me? And my answer to that is, this is actually the most loving thing that your family can do, and that is for your own personal growth. You have gone through so much turmoil and pain to rise above that, to become your greatest version, to become a healer that you are. A lot of times
Right.
when we experience a lifetime that is so difficult, it's because we're called to a higher purpose. And if I wish everybody could see it from that perspective, but they don't until they start going through their healing journey. And then it makes sense to them, because like, why would I even choose that kind of life? Because the soul always wants to grow, wants to evolve into its greatest version.
Right.
We are the soul having a human experience, and we get to choose that. And we can come back if we want. Sometimes we just need a rest, and the soul will rest. Sometimes I have people just leave one life and smack right dab into another one. And it's because they're not done growing. They want to keep on going on the growth cycle.
I think that we bring forth trauma from our past lives.
Mhm. Yes. Keep experiencing it until the lesson is
Literally everything about Patty was what I hate the most. I detest, you know what I mean?
so seeing a life of contrast, now a life doing the opposite,
Yeah.
because the
Mhm.
lesson was learned.
Yeah.
And you're growing.
was.
Yay.
Yay. So it changed me. It really did. The night after my session, I sat with my middle daughter and we listened to it, and it was pretty emotional.
Mhm.
And then I went to bed, and then I woke up the next morning, and it was just like everything started just flooding in, seriously. And it was it was exciting, but also it made me question a lot of things,
Yeah.
but I started to understand at that moment that, yeah, I'm growing.
You are. You are. I was going to say something, but I forgot. Would you do this again?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to.
I just want people to hear, was this an experience that was uncomfortable and you don't want to do that again? Sometimes
No, it was the
people,
best thing that I've ever done for myself.
oh, good. I'm glad you
Um,
feel that way.
a lot of healing, a lot of understanding. It just shows me that the importance of unconditional love for one another. Somebody in your eyes in this life may be bad, but you could have been that person in another life.
Exactly.
And we are all connected.
Mhm.
And so it just boils down to unconditional love for everyone, for everything.
Mhm.
So I learned so much,
Good.
so much. And I would recommend everyone to do it. It
Well,
puts things in
I'm glad you
perspective.
chose me to experience
Too.
this.
Oh, me too. Me
Because not
too.
everybody resonates with my energy or someone else. A lot of people come in to have session with me because they've done their research. I'm like, why did you choose me? There's more than just me in this town that does past life regression. And they keep telling me, because you have reviews and your reviews are very good, and I wanted to I just vibe with you. That's what they say. I just felt comfortable before I even
Right.
met you. And I was like, thank
Right.
you.
That's right. And it's really strange the way this happened. My daughter found you on TikTok, and she said, Mom, you have got to listen into this. So come into this live. And, so I did it. And, or no, I went and looked at the YouTube. That was the first thing she said. She uploads it. She'll upload it to YouTube. And so I went and watched that, and I thought, wow. And you were the reason that I even signed up for TikTok. I didn't even know what in the world it was. Did not.
And here
So
you are.
yeah, and then and so I did your past life regression up, the one that you uploaded to
Mhm.
YouTube. I did that, and I started. So I started asking you questions, and you were just very responsive, caring, and I can just see the genuine love that you have for humanity, for everyone. And I don't know, I needed it.
Well, thank you. Speaking of TikTok Live, I have a live coming up here
You
in
do.
15 minutes. So maybe you'll see me on there, but
You will.
is there any last words that you want everyone to know about your experience?
What my higher self told me. Love deeply and forgive yourself.
Absolutely.
That was very powerful. Forgive yourself. That is a big thing.
You feel a lot of release with that?
I did.
The weight
And
leaving your
I
body?
I did.
Good.
Because when you start to forgive yourself, then you can love deeply.
Yeah.
So
Deeply.
that was big. That was big. It was huge.
Good.
So
Well,
thank you.
I want to thank you for agreeing to come on and put this out there on YouTube so other people can see a different side of it. Hearing it from someone that's actually gone through it with me, and
I think
their
it's I think it's
everyone has,
important.
yeah, everyone has a
You know,
different experience.
I see on your TikTok lives, people are asking, they just ask a lot of questions, and it's you've been through past life regressions yourself,
Mhm.
but hearing it from someone that's just the average person that we did a Zoom session, and it all came flying out, and it has helped me, and people need to know that it's nothing to be scared of. It's a journey.
Definitely. That's why when people ask me, can I get a reading? I'm like, I don't do readings. I want to take you on a journey of remembering.
Journey.
Because when you're feeling that emotion and you're going through those experiences,
That's when
it matters so much more, I think, to the person that's receiving the regression, rather
you're
than
feeling, yes, when you're feeling it versus when someone telling you, when you're feeling the emotions, that's when you're learning, and that's when you are, putting the puzzle pieces together instead of having someone else tell you.
yeah. So reading is actually good for those who really think they'll struggle with hypnosis. And I tell people look at it as a guided meditation rather than hypnosis. A lot of times that'll open it up for them and they won't have a problem at all
True.
during the session. But there are some that do, and a reading might be more helpful to them. So I'm not
Yeah.
against doing past
No.
life, but I don't do them
Yeah.
myself. I just want everyone to experience the journey because
Yes, it's important.
yeah.
My advice, if people want to, or if they're unsure that they're going to have a good experience, whatever, just to start meditating.
Yeah, that is
Just
so.
that's what I did prior to our session. Is I meditated every night.
Good.
So
And it worked out.
it worked out perfectly. It
Right.
worked out perfectly. So thank you.
You're so welcome, Holly. I appreciate you for hanging out with me and having
I
this
appreciate you too.
conversation. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording now, and
Thank you.
I'll upload this onto YouTube for everyone to see.
All right.